Hey there, this is Mr. Icarus, and welcome to the channel update for April 2017. Oh good, I got the year right this time. I think I managed to say 2016 last month. Seriously, I don't think my head was in the right place at that point of recording. But anyway, this is going to be a shorter than usual channel update this month, and that's largely because I'm a little strapped for time. There's been a lot of in-real-life stuff. I've kind of been flying by the seat of my pants when it comes to pushing out and creating content for the channel. So Doom Mod Madness, I think I literally got that finished before I started doing my live stream on Thursday, which was a little hairy, I got to admit. I would have liked to have done it a lot further in advance, but hey, these things happen. You got to adjust to things as they happen. You got to be very adaptable in this kind of work. But when it comes down to the live stream itself, more specifically Doom Mod Madness Live, I feel like it's settled into a much nicer groove. When I first started that project, when I first started doing the dual stream between YouTube and Twitch, I was getting some serious anxiety, I've got to admit. And you got to imagine having to manage two separate chat streams, making sure that both streams are stable, dealing with all of the technical difficulties that arise out of such an arrangement. It was tough to get my head around, but after a few weeks of doing that now, I feel like I've settled into a nice little groove. Things are a lot more normalized, and I think it's time to maybe make some improvements, because a lot of people ask me what kind of mod I'm going to be playing, usually several days in advance of the live stream itself, and at the moment that's not quite how I work. I actually only decide what mod I'm going to be playing in most cases about an hour before the stream goes up, which is a terrible way to prepare. You got to imagine, I've got to test the thing, make sure it's working, have the right settings, get it set up in the streaming software, and I think I need to change the way I schedule things on that. I might have to start planning out my weekly streams, maybe plan a month ahead, maybe. You know, I know what I'm doing for 4 weeks in advance, and that way it's on the back burner. I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't have to panic during the morning going, oh crap, what do I cover, what do I cover? And then, you know, come in all flustered at the start of the stream. So, yeah, even though I've settled into a much better groove with the Doom Mod Madness live stream, I feel like there's definitely some more improvements I can make for my own benefit. Sticking with the streaming side of things for just a little while longer, you may have also noticed that over on Twitch I've been playing quite a lot of PlayerUnknowns Battlegrounds. It's currently occupying the Wednesday-Thursday slot on my channel, and that's because I'm kind of obsessed with it. There's just something about that game. You basically have to fight against 100 other people, well, potentially 100 other people, and get to the #1 spot. There can only be one winner. It's a battle royale survival style game based on a mod that was originally for Armor, I believe, then DayZ. It was more recently known as King of the Hill for H1Z1, and now the creator of that, the eponymous PlayerUnknown, has gone on to make this, Battlegrounds, a standalone version. It's still in early access, but it intrigued me enough from watching other people's live streams that I felt like giving it a whirl myself. It looked like it could be a lot of fun, and it turns out that I really goddamn enjoy playing it. Streaming it, however, is a different kettle of fish, because I have hardware trouble. Basically, I get frame rate issues a go-go when it comes to streaming it on Twitch. The server issues occasionally cause unfortunate lag when you're trying to shoot another person in the face, and there's all of the other pitfalls that come along with early access. But despite that, I'm still invested. I'm still invested in it. I still have this drive to continue playing and seeing what the next round will be like. Basically, you're on this 8x8 kilometer island. You jump out of a plane, you have to loot for equipment, you start with nothing, you have to loot for guns, for armor, all the good stuff. And then after a while, after 5 minutes, this circle starts to close in around the island, this energy barrier that reduces the playing area incrementally until it's pretty intimate by the end of it. There's usually 5 of you left or something in the final few circles, and it gets really damn tense, and it is a very singular rush, something that I don't think I've experienced in a video game for quite a while, so that'll probably account for my minor obsession with it at the moment. But if you're interested in seeing how I do, which is usually badly, yeah, feel free to pop over on Wednesday and Thursday. Same time slot as Doom Mod Madness Live, 3 PM to 6 PM GMT, and we usually have a whale of a time. Usually involves me running myself over with various cars. Something that I'd very much like to stream, but I legally can't at the moment, is Quake Champions. You may or may not be aware that there's been a closed beta of that floating around. I got my invite for that, which I was very excited about last week. I had a little whirl, and I believe that's going to start again this weekend. And yeah, unfortunately, there's a big old non-disclosure agreement stipulation to the whole thing. You don't technically agree to it, but I can imagine the legal wrangling behind it is by installing and playing the game, you implicitly agree to the NDA. So I'm not really allowed to discuss anything about the game. I can't show you content of the game, which sucks. I think they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot with that, because I don't tell them I said this, but I think it's alright. I think it's alright. It's got some elements in there. Yeah, sure, there's the hero abilities, which aren't as prominent as you may imagine. It does feature loot boxes, it does feature skin unlocks, all cosmetic stuff. But I think the system that they've got in place isn't too shabby. It feels pretty generous, all things considered, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone thinks of Quake Champions when the doors are thrown wide open for the open beta with no non-disclosure agreement added on top, because I'd really love to stream that. It actually runs really damn well on my PC, and I imagine it would still do reasonably okay with the streaming software piled in on top, quite unlike Battlegrounds at the moment. But I'll keep my eyes peeled on that front, and I'll let you know if I ever have the opportunity to show you exactly what it's like myself. So, it's probably about time for me to discuss the old YouTube-shaped elephant in the room, even though I really don't want to, because let's face it, the subject matter is about as dull as dishwater. This is the news that YouTube is clamping down on the advertising front. They're giving advertisers new and in-depth controls to ensure that their products show up alongside more positive content, I guess. They've now got controls that filter out things such as suggestive content, controversial content, violence, profanity, and to a degree some of it is understandable, but the way YouTube works is it's a sledgehammer. They don't know the meaning of subtlety when it comes to integrating this kind of stuff, and as a result it's causing a lot of channels to fall under the umbrella of certain categories here when they shouldn't necessarily do so. So as a result, channels like H3H3 are suffering quite a lot. They're losing quite a lot of ad revenue, and me personally, because I don't really make that much in the first place, I'm not seeing as much of a hit, but I am seeing a hit nonetheless, especially compared to previous months, because I've got a nice bit of a comparison that I can make with the old little graphs that I get from YouTube analytics, and I can see where my peaks are when I get more money during the week, for example when I post Doom Mod Madness, and whether the regular going rate is during the rest of the week. And lately it's been pretty asthmatic, all things considered. It's been bumping lower and lower and lower and struggling to get above the previous regular peaks that it used to. So I'm certainly taking a hit as a result. And I'm trying to figure out why. Maybe it's because I play Doom. Maybe they're on that whole violent video games are bad kick again. Maybe it's because I swear in some of my videos, because I have been known to swear. What of it? And yeah, they're all prudes. These advertisers, they've really got far too high standards of themselves. I mean, you go to a cinema to watch a violent film. It could be a 15 rated film, 18 rated film, and you'll get insurance adverts, car adverts, trailers for other films before it. They don't have any friggin' problem with advertising in front of violent content or profanity-laden content. You get that stuff on TV all the time as well. But when it comes to YouTube, whoa, oh, they really have to be indignant about all this stuff and get all up in arms, and then YouTube, because it's a big lumbering idiot, has to smash its own castle to pieces, and it's not good. It's not good, basically. And it's thrown my plans into a little bit of disarray, because I was going to be a free agent for a while. I left my old network, which was Maker, because they were getting rid of everyone anyway. I was like, all right, I'll see how it is on my own. And now the data's all skewed because YouTube had to go and fuck everything up. And now I can't get any reliable information over whether I'm better or worse with or without a network. So now I'm actually looking better network because they're more gaming focused, and I'll get more gaming focused ads, which is exactly what I need on my channel, because, you know, no one has a problem with video game violence and video game ads running side by side, and it's troubling times. It's hard to comprehend, it's silly, it's dumb, and yeah, I've discussed it on things like Discord, but at some point another company will come along and go, hey, we've got a much bigger deal, a much better deal, something that is practically a no-brainer, and people will flee to that service. And it seems more a matter of time than anything, because YouTube, you've just done goofed far too often for this to be a outlier, for this to be a fluke of an event. It's just, it's dumb, it's stupid, it's making everyone miserable, and they're just waiting with bated breath for the chance to jump ship, and honestly, that chance couldn't come sooner enough. But anyway, things are more than bearable enough for me right now. Don't worry about me, I'm trucking along just fine. I'll continue to make Doom Mod Madness videos, I'll continue to produce Doom Mod Madness live, and I'm going to be putting a bit of thought into other stuff I can do as well. Try and, you know, spread myself around a bit and find other avenues to keep things constant and ticking along, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys, and it certainly wouldn't be possible without the aid of my patrons over on Patreon, because yes, it is of course time for the big badass shout-out. Thank you very much to Hyperactive Cow, Ben Rosenberg, Incursion Gerbil, Kind Torment, Connor Zollinger, Jeremy Strickland, Michael Ewer, JMAA, and Fenrir Wolf. You're all wonderful, wonderful Nutter tier patrons. And of course, not forgetting my Loon tier patrons. There you are on screen right there. Thank you very, very much. Your contributions are all very much appreciated. And if you feel like lending a hand over on Patreon and joining this esteemed list, then the link is in the description below. But anyway, that is enough from me this month. I said this was going to be a shorter video. That turned out to be a big load of shit, because it's in fact probably longer than last month's video now. But anyway, this has been Mr. Icarus. Thank you very much for watching. Icarus out.